first photograph. Tell us who this is and what we're looking at.
All right, this is from Stefan, and
Stefan.
uh, this is from some old pictures from my 6 days in India. And so these were, he submitted three, I picked one. This one's from New Delhi, a ticket counter at the backside of the New Delhi railway station.
Very interesting. So here's my I try to give you like just what I see right off the bat. I would move in on, to me, where the action is. You got the guys standing over to the left. One of them looks like they're smoking a cigarette because I can kind of see the red little dot there. But where I see the action really occurring is then, in this frame, which is its own frame with the guy in the ticket counter. There's a light, somebody buying, one, two, three people in line there. I would crop off the whole left side of this thing. And if at the time you're shooting, I would just have moved in, because that to me is where the life of this photograph is. The rest of it doesn't really have a lot of interest. Especially because the fence and the bus behind it, all that doesn't. There's nothing going on there. Possibly what you could do, and I would just try this in your cropping, crop just to the left of the guy with the cigarette. Maybe leave those guys in. I'm just doing kind of my own hand cropping here. Yeah, that could balance it out. So I just crop it off. There's a fence post there to the left of the guy smoking the cigarette. Crop it right there. And then that'll pull your center of attention over to where the interest really is, which is the guy inside the booth with the light. So that's cropping with your software. I would crop with your feet and just move in. Okay? Find that heart of your image and go for it. And get rid of everything else. Less is more. But thanks for sending that over. All right.
Said in the counter, it's just a candle for light. So that's
that's even
source
more
is a
interesting.
candle.
See, that makes it even more interesting if we could somehow see that even closer. So that's where, and I love the whatever's reflecting off of the shiny surface there. That's pretty cool. So yeah, let's get rid of the stuff on the left there. I would maybe even crop, honestly, I don't know, I might crop off a little bit of the top, but for sure on the side there. Try that out. You can even post it back in the AYP club, and let's see what it looks like. If you agree. If you don't agree with me, you don't have to do it. All right, who's next?
All right. This is from
You bet, Stefan.
Goosey.
I hope that helps.
Yeah. This one's from Goosey, who has submitted, and they said they were in the Philippines earlier in the chat, and so this one is typical scene of my Saturday early morning place to be.
Yeah, it's also, I'm gonna kind of give you the same advice. Like, what we need to do is, there's a lot of stuff going on here, but where does your eye go? My eye goes to the guy in the center, and I can't quite tell what he's doing. Is he holding a phone up to his? I think he's got a phone, right? I would move in on him and decide which. You've got three frames here. You've got the people on the left sitting there. You got the people on the right who are standing, and you got the guy in the center. So decide which one is your center of interest and move in. Moving in almost always, not always, but almost always will improve your photograph. And deciding on your center of interest for sure always improves your photograph. It just makes it clear. Because we kind of want to say, if we just don't want it to be a recording of a bunch of people, which is interesting, but it's not going to draw my eye. It's not pulling me into something. So let's find that subject and wait for this guy to do something. The guy with no shirt on. He's going to do something. He's going to turn and look at you. He's going to look at the other people. There's going to be a gesture or something. You're set. You're ready to go. Just keep shooting until something happens that makes this photograph pop. Okay? There you go. That's my best advice.
All right. This one.
It is free. There's no charge to send over a photograph.
Oh, yep. You can see in the description of this live stream, you can see a link to the AYP Club.
Cool.
This one is from Patrick McCabe.
Aha.
And no caption with this one.
Interesting. We have several frames. Actually, three frames. So we've got the guy on the left that's leaning there. He's got a violin case. And it looks like only a partial leg. Interesting. We've got the woman. There's another frame in the door, like cleaning the doorknob or something, polishing the doorknob. And then we've got the frame of the reflection over here. That's very interesting. I like that because it makes it interesting. Now, what would really make it even more interesting is if we saw some kind of connection between these people, at least the two. And that's just waiting. You know, a lot of photography is just, it's capturing the moment. What is the moment? So maybe there's a moment when the woman who's doing something with the door looks up at the guy. There's a little connection there. Something, I could feel like some kind of connection could occur that would make these frames linked together. You know, it's just, again, it's just waiting for that moment. You've got an interesting setup. You've got those three frames, and it's just making them coincide. And a lot of times that's all it takes. That's what capturing the moment is all about. Is you're looking, maybe you're pressing the shutter, but you're waiting for that moment where she looks over. The guy on the left is kind of already looking, and that's kind of, he's looking at something. Maybe the woman looks at the same thing he's looking at, or maybe he looks over at her. But there's gonna be something if you keep photographing. And just remember that a lot of times you get into a set and something's ready to happen. You can feel it. You can smell the photograph, as Bob Holmes says. But just be patient. Keep pressing the shutter until you see that magical moment occur. Okay? All right. Who's next?
All right. Our next one is from Mache. And the caption that they submitted was, "She looked right at me."
I love it. I mean, I'm a big dog lover. And you've got a beautiful portrait of your dog with that loving look. You know, there's an unmistakable look of, you're my pal, you're my dad, or whatever. And you've done a good job with your shallow depth of field, removing other things that could distract us. You've got catch lights in her eye. I assume it's a her, right? Yeah, it's a great portrait of your pet, your pal, and you've done a good job capturing it. There's nothing I would say that you could do to particularly improve it. I might just do, the only thing I would do is in my post-processing, that whatever that is behind her head, that kind of curved thing, up there. I don't know what that is back there, but I would probably lose that a little more.
I think it's a rug.
A rug or something, yeah.
Because that looks like hardwood floor, and that looks like rug.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But, is that her tail? That's her tail.
Oh, okay. Is this what you're talking about? Yeah, that's the tail. That's
her tail. Okay, never mind. Now that I know what it is, it's fine. Okay. Yeah. I just thought it was some other thing protruding into the photograph, but it's her tail. It belongs there. Okay, good. Yeah, you got it. A great portrait of your puppy, your dog. Okay.
All right. The next one is from Saad, and this is some street photography that they took with their Nikon camera.
Cool. Okay, colors are a composition tool, and you've got, this door with the, I don't know what that color is, but it's kind of a turquoise blue. There is a name for that, but I can't think what it is right now. And we've got two frames. We've got three frames. We've got the guy on the left, and that's interesting what he's doing. We've got the door, which is obviously its own frame, and looking inside. Then we got the kid right over on the right there, and he's obviously got his own frame. I'd probably just move in on the guy. I would move in on the guy on the left as his own. Yeah, maybe even just crop off the kid. I don't know that he needs to be there. It's sort of splitting my attention. Because what the guy's doing is kind of interesting with that angle. That angle draws my eye anyway. So I'd probably just crop off, where that desk is or whatever that thing is on the right. I would probably crop right about there. And then go after, photographing the child as his own subject. And you've got two areas of interest. But, a lot of times you just remember less is more. We don't need so much in the frame. Let's just take out the boy on the right, and it leaves you with a very interesting frame of, the color in the door and the guy painting and the angle and paint splattered over him. See, that's enough. That's enough for that photograph. So that's easy. That's just crop it off. Boom. And there you go. Please subscribe and enable the bell so you don't miss any of our new shows. Like the video and please share it and leave your comments. I love hearing from you. And remember to get out and capture your own images of life.